case. Took so many L's, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Drown out my problems, let me when I've been up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. There we go, Pac-Man. Waiting! You gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this? Deuce!
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 24-yard line.
Go. 180! 34, Mike 34. And watch the leg.
Shotgun now for Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Sunday. 54's Mike. Check. Watch this.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. On the return, Jackson. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
70, Indy, routine spell. Back.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. 53, Mike, 53. You don't want this. 6-6, bullet high. 53's the Mike, 53, check. Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Second and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Mike 34, Mike 34.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
On side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself, thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Go. Let's go. 50 seconds.
On 2nd down, Cook. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
You ain't doing nothing today. X3, 218, chopper. Check 3, check 3, check 3. 5.
Here's McSorley now, 3rd and long. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Check pass. Check pass.
He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing now is Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Play 3 of the drive now is successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Don't get nervous.
This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
74. Hey, Charlie.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Let's go. Hey, Foxtrot. Foxtrot. Hey. Hey, check Mike 34. Mike. Two jet. Let's go, Heavy.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is caught by Jackson. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
Let's go, fellas.
A gain of 18 on the play.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After the sack on first down, Wentz, that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 280. Rip on 7. Down to lose 1. Let's go. Hey, go Mike 34. Mike 34. You must be dreaming. Hey, check Mike 34. Bravo. Mike 34.
Wentz going to throw. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Quick the edge, quick the edge. Hey, lock it. Hatch it.
Go. Here's McSorley on 1st and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Minnesota. 46 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Orbit. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
On 3rd down, it's McSorley. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw is Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
1st down, Eagles.
Here we go. 54. You got nothing.
6-5-7. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. That's caught by Howard. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Now able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
80 weapon.
Going for it with Sanders. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
First down, Philadelphia.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw, it's Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wentz. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And it's 3rd down.
Hey, here we go. Pac-Man. 180. Mike, 54. Great 15. Great 15.
Again, it's Wentz. This one complete to Sproles. And he is going to lose yardage here. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 34. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Ready, set.
53 is the mic.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Dude.
They run it again with Cook. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as he'll be left with a 3rd and long.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Pick me up. Here we go. Slam, slam, slam. Greystone travel.
53, Mike.
Hey, wahoo!
You tired of us?
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the 39, Wentz. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wentz to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jackson. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
First down, Eagles.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confident.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
42. Mike's 42. Watch the curl. Watch.
Move.
Check. 42's the Mike. Check. 42's the Mike.
Wentz going to go on fourth down. And Jeffrey's got it. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Hey, Zoo.
Throwing is Wentz. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We call that a sack.
I think this is where we see how the game has moved along a little bit. Free safety, no blitz, but reads the play, has no responsibility in coverage, and takes a gamble and goes and gets the quarterback.
Well, is that a spot, though, where when he's coming, the quarterback needs to be able to find somebody or not necessarily?
Has to, because with that amount of time coming from the free safety position, someone should break open.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They run with Howard. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wentz. It's complete. It's Sproles. There he goes inside the 30. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Mike 42, Mike 42.
On 2nd down now. It's Howard. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 180! Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
They'll try to run forward with Sanders. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
40, 82, 40.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
Five.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, high 7.
McSorley, 1st and 10. Going deep for Diggs. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Recon, 132 fighter. Now.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Howard. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And he connects with Ertz. An Eagle 1st down, wins to Ertz. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Lane's 42.
Hey, echo.
Bandit. Check. 42. Check.
On first down, Wentz.
Switch up.
Ertz over the middle. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right? Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the fourth quarter, tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can, Brandon, and not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
This is taken around the 12.
Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard, 76 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott on for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game.
Makes the score Eagles 26, Vikings 17. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Check. Check hot route.
Deep grip.
Again, it's Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Right there.
It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
A loss of a yard. It's fourth down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Now Sproles. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. A fourth-quarter score, meanwhile, from Kansas City. It's the Texans firmly in control of that one. They've scored again. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up.
What's this on?
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for Philadelphia, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.